This episode of The Therapy Show is sponsored by Therapy Notes. Why not find out what more than 100,000 mental health professionals already know and try Therapy Notes for 2 months absolutely free? Just click on the link in the show notes or enter promo code LISA at therapynotes.com. Welcome to the Therapy Show podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Mustard. In each episode, I interview a seasoned and knowledgeable talk therapist from the counseling world to glean valuable insights, techniques, and tools that you can apply to your practice and your life. And if you're considering a career in the counseling field or just want to hear about what it's like to be a talk therapist, then this is the podcast for you. Well, hey friend, welcome back to the show and happy summer. I can't believe we are rolling into summer. And if you're concerned about the summer slump of low client referrals or even a drop in your caseload, now may be the time to get started on creating an additional stream of income. Or perhaps you're feeling burnt out on clinical work and are daydreaming of starting something new with your clinical skills. So, either way, I have you covered because in this episode, I'm going to talk about 3 income generating options you may want to consider. But before I dive in, it's really important for you to choose options that align with your values, strengths, and experiences, plus determination and creativity. You got to have all those things lined up because if you don't, it's going to be really hard to pick something that you want to focus on. But I know that you can thrive beyond clinical work and find fulfillment in something new. So the first option, and it's actually kind of 3 options, but I'm going to lump them all together: workshops, trainings, and speaking engagements. You could conduct sessions for other therapists or even the general public. You could cover topics such as stress management, self-care practices and techniques, maybe even trauma-informed approaches, or specific therapeutic modalities that you might be an expert in. Or perhaps you have another specialty altogether that therapists can benefit from, like social media and marketing, insurance paneling. I mean, really, the sky's the limit. If you have something that you're an expert in and that you can talk and talk and talk and love talking about it, then you probably have something in you that you can share. So, providing these trainings not only allows you to connect with like-minded professionals, but also positions you as an authority in your field. You could collaborate with local organizations such as your state associations, maybe even agencies, hospitals, schools, wellness centers, because collaborating with those different options are going to help you reach a broader audience. Now, remember, we're not just talking about therapists, we're talking about the general public as well. So you could get really, really niche specific here on what that population of the public could be. And you may have to provide free workshops or trainings to get started, but that's okay because you're getting your name out there and you're also sharing a ton of value. And once you get your feet under you, you can start to charge for your workshops and services. So here's an example. A few years ago, I did an online workshop, a free online workshop for my local AAMFT chapter. And from that workshop, I received a bunch of opportunities to do other things that were paid. So don't count out doing things for free or even a small fee because it can lead to more opportunities that will be paid. And not to mention, when I did that online workshop, it brought a ton of like-minded professionals into my world who wanted to learn more about what I offered and what I was doing. And I made some incredible new connections as well as long-term friendships from that one training. So don't count out doing things for free. It can be a really great way to get your name out there and get your authority and credibility built. Okay, the next option could be, once again, I'm going to put all of these, it's like one idea, but it's kind of 3 different things. So it's writing, publishing, and blogging. Because once again, you can utilize your expertise in mental health topics by writing, publishing books, articles, blog posts. I mean, there are tons of different ways for you to get your writing out there because these avenues not only allow you to reach a wider audience, but once again, build credibility and generate passive income through sales and sponsored content. So if you're thinking about blogging, one of the ways that you can monetize your blog is through affiliate marketing. And this is a great option if you desire to create an income stream that allows you to work from home as well as in the pockets of your day. Because if you have small kids at home and you aren't able to get out and about and do the speakings or the workshops or the trainings, this could be a great option for you. So how do you get started with these, with the writing and the blogging and the publishing? So if you want to get started with writing and publishing, I would suggest looking at something like Upwork or other freelance sites. And people are looking for writers that can talk about mental health topics. I don't know if you've noticed, but mental health is a really, really hot topic. And if you're a therapist and you're willing to you know, put in the energy to write on mental health topics, I would imagine that there's plenty of opportunities out there for you. When I get on Upwork, I see they're looking for writers all the time in mental health. So, and don't worry, experience isn't always necessary. So you can probably find plenty of opportunities out there. And once again, if you have to start at a lower fee to kind of build up your portfolio, then do it because it's just going to build on itself and eventually more opportunities will present themselves to you. It takes time and it takes energy and it takes consistency of effort, but it's summer. There might be a slump going on. So you really do have the time to put into it. And blogging really is still a thing. And the more niche your blog, the better. Now, blogging takes time and patience and consistency of effort and action. It takes those things to grow. But if you want to work from home and cut back on those clinical hours, growing a blog could be for you. And you want to consider blogging about things that you enjoy and are passionate about and what people are also searching for. And research shows over and over again that people want to be healthier, happier, and wealthier. So, what niches can you write about that help people in one of these areas? If you help them solve these problems and give them value, the sky's the limit. And most bloggers monetize through affiliate marketing, which means that when they recommend a product or service, they are paid a commission at no extra cost to the person buying the product or service. For example, I am an affiliate with a company that has an app, the mindfulness app. And so when someone purchases the app through my link, I receive a commission. And there are so many affiliate marketing programs out there. So you can get super creative once you decide what you want to blog about. In fact, I would suggest if you want to start a blog, think about what it is you're passionate about, what you are excited about, and then maybe look to see what affiliate programs are out there that can help you kind of, create that income. Now, it takes time and it takes patience, and blogging takes, I know I keep saying this, but it's so true. Blogging takes time, but it is so worth it once you finally can get it right and get it going. Try Therapy Notes, the #1 rated electronic health record system available today. With live telephone support 7 days a week, it's clear why Therapy Notes is rated 4.9 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot.com and Google. Therapy Notes makes billing, scheduling, note-taking, and telehealth incredibly easy. And now, for all you prescribers out there, Therapy Notes is proudly introducing ePrescribe. And if you're coming from another electronic health record, Therapy Notes makes the transition quite simple, importing your demographic data free of charge so you can get going right away. So why not find out what more than 100,000 mental health professionals already know and try Therapy Notes for 2 months absolutely free. Just click on the link in the show notes or enter the promo code Lisa at therapynotes.com. Try it today with no strings attached and see why everyone is switching to Therapy Notes. All right, the next option, number 3, is my favorite, of course, is podcasting. Once again, pick your niche, create the content, be consistent, add value to your audience. And I'm not saying it's that easy, but it really is that simple. And I'm not saying that these ideas will have you making money overnight, but I'm saying that you can build yourself a really cool and fun passive income stream with the right plan and strategy in place. So podcasting is going to be similar to blogging. And just because you're a therapist, that doesn't mean you talk about therapy things. I mean, you can talk about anything when it comes to podcasting. Now, there's a free course that you can take that I will put the link to the show notes where it's the John Lee Dumas free podcasting course. And it's the exact course that I watched when I was thinking about starting the therapy show. I'll put the link in the show notes. So just head over there and click the link and you can watch it for free. But he really helps you hone in on your niche. He helps you identify your listener, your ideal listener. And then he helps you kind of get started with, outlining your content and how to get started with podcasting. So it's a great free course that you can watch. I'll put the link in the show notes. So I know these are just 3 business ideas that I do suggest to the therapists that I talk to that are seeking a change. If you'd like more ideas on income generating ideas, then be sure to grab my list in the show notes. You can grab that list in the show notes. It includes 50 ideas for creating an additional stream of income. So just head to the show notes to get the list and you can get it. You can download it right away. But before I end today's episode, it's important to know that while these ideas take time to grow, it's even more important that you take action on starting. Just pick something and start. So I can just share with you as a therapist who has experienced burnout from clinical work, I struggled for many months on how to move through it. I went to therapy. I talked to my life coach. I read a bunch of self-help books. And while each were helpful in their own way, nothing really changed for me until I decided to take action. And at first, I took messy, chaotic at times, and imperfect action, but I took action. And as I've mentioned before, and maybe in other episodes, the first few attempts at starting something new were flops. But I took what I learned from these failures and kept moving forward because I found I was moving through my burnout because I was taking responsibility for controlling what I could, which was figuring out a way to pivot my skills into something new. And I actually found that with my new attitude and vision, I was becoming a better therapist, which is crazy to think about. I was going through burnout. I didn't want to be a therapist, but as I decided to take imperfect action on starting something and picking something and actually just doing something about it instead of complaining about it, right? With that newfound vision and attitude, I became a better therapist. Crazy. And while I still experience burnout here and there, it's way more manageable than it was back then because I am working on growing my business and I'm seeing it grow. I'm seeing, income being generated. So what's the take-home message? Pick something and start taking action on it because it may actually help you cope with burnout. All right, you guys, that's a wrap for today's episode. I hope you found this discussion on business ideas for burnout therapists helpful, inspiring. And if you're a therapist experiencing burnout, remember that taking action and exploring new avenues can lead to a more fulfilling professional journey. I am living proof. So be sure to visit the show notes to grab my list of 50 ideas to generate more income, and you can start implementing them today. Like I said, look it over, pick something, get excited because excitement is going to spur you into this summer and you'll have the time and you'll hopefully have the energy to start creating that something new. Okay, you guys, have a great week and I'll talk to you soon. Well, that wraps up another episode of The Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard. I know there are hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, and I'm thankful you've chosen to listen to mine.
Be sure to visit lisamustard.com to access the show notes and discover more fantastic content.
And I'd be grateful if you subscribe to the show. Thank you.